Okay, so good morning everyone. My name is Devansh and we'll be continuing with our overview classes for FAM. And for this class, we'll be discussing about the different assurance products which are there. So why should you know different assurance products? The reason why you should know different assurance products is because you will have to price these products. Okay. In the previous classes, we had learned about the mortality probability, survival probability, deferred probabilities and all that. This is where you are going to use those products. Use those concepts. You will have to use them to price and reserve. To make pricing for these products, you will have to do reserving for these policies. But before that, you will also have to know about the different assurance products which are there in your syllabus. Along with that, there is also a small topic at the very end of your FAML which involves knowing about different assurance annuity products and different X number of insurance products which will help your cause in later on. But for now, let us start with introduction of different assurance products. First of all, if I were to split the term life assurance, I will get that first is life. That an assurance product, life assurance product, is usually sold to a life. Like for example, me and you. The life assurance product is sold to a life. Like for example, it is possible that I can get a life insurance for myself. I can get a life assurance for my family member, or I can get a life assurance for my dog, or something like that. So this is what a life assurance policy essentially means. I'm getting assurance, or I'm purchasing a policy for some life on death of whom I would be financially affected. Like for example, let us say that if I were to get an insurance of my father, then as and when he dies, I would be financially affected by that. Obviously, I would be emotionally devastated, but that aside, obviously, I would be financially affected by that as well, right? So to compensate for that, I will have to purchase a life assurance policy. And there are different varieties of life assurance policies which you can buy in today's day and time, apart from the regular whole life assurance and term assurance. But what is a whole life assurance? So whole life assurance essentially means that as and when I die, the insurance company will pay a certain sum of money to my family members. Like for example, I am 20-year-old right now. Let us say that if I were to die in anywhere between 20 and infinity. So basically, I am not taking a very large number. Instead of that, I am straight away taking infinity. So if I were to die anywhere between this, let us say that if I were to die at 70, then insurance company will pay that much amount, that the death benefit for the policy, to my family members. Very simple. Now, there are other varieties for the same policy, for a whole assurance policy. Note down the fact that the payment is being made at the time of my death. The payment is not made when I am 60. The payment is not made when I am 80. The payment is made, payment is not made when I am supposed to be 80. The payment is made when I die. That is at time 70. Now, the term life assurance plan, there is a certain period which is determined by me and insurance company. I will have an agreement with the insurance company saying that if I were to die within this period, then I will be paid the sum assured money. Let us say that this is 40 years. Then again, I am 20-year-old. Then if I were to die within the next 40 years, which means if I were to die between 20 and 60 year old, then I would be paid, then my family members, or then my dependents, or then my nominee will be paid the death benefit for the policy. But let us say that if I were to survive till 70, then insurance company will simply not pay any amount of money to my family members. They will simply not pay any amount of money to my family members. Then my family members cannot go and say that, okay, he had bought a life assurance policy, he had told us, but what about now? He has died, so pay us money. The insurance company will simply say that your whoever the relative is, that he did not purchase a whole life policy, he purchased a term policy. And the term has expired, so we cannot pay them any money. Next, you have annually increasing policy. So in a regular policy, in a regular death benefit policy, if you have bought a plain vanilla policy, the death benefit of that policy will remain constant for the entire period. Like for example, in the previous examples, let us say that if I had purchased a policy wherein the death benefit is 2 crore rupees, then irrespective of whenever I die, the insurance company will only pay 2 crores to my family members. But right now 2 crore is a significant sum of money. 5 years down the line, again, it may still be a significant sum of money. But 20 years down the line, 40 years down the line, will it still be the same significant amount of money? The answer is no. You have learned about inflation, you have learned about the decrease in or erosion of value of money, right? So obviously this sum of money will not be that significant 40 years down the line. So it seems reasonable for me to buy a policy where the sum assured amount is gradually and annually increasing, right? So I can buy this variety of policy wherein the sum assured amount is increasing every single year, right? So this is what a annually increasing assurance policy will look like. Okay, next. Similar to annually increasing policy, contrary to annually increasing policy, you can also have a annually decreasing policy. Now, it seems rational, it seems reasonable for someone to buy an annually increasing policy. But why will someone with a right mind buy an annually decreasing policy? The reason is to offset the loan outstanding on top of that policy holder. But समझ में नहीं आया क्या मतलब हुआ इसमें? The reason mean, like for example, let us say if I have bought a house right now which is worth 2 crores. I have taken out I have purchased a house. For that I had to take out a loan, and that loan was for 2 crore rupees. And let us say if I were to die 5 years down the line, the value of house has increased. Ideally it is an investment, so the value of house will increase gradually and gradually, right? But the loan outstanding is falling. The loan outstanding is falling because I am making annual payments, I am making monthly payments, monthly repayments of the loan and payments of the interest. So the loan amount is decreasing. But 5 years down the line, when I die, my family members are not capable to pay off that loan. Then what? Bank are not saints. First of all, bank will obviously, it might seem very true, might seem very hard, or it might seem very cruel, but they will throw out my family members from my house. They will realize the value of house, and they will realize the value of house, and they will take the amount of money which is due to them, right? So that is what they will do. But since it was so cruel, bank said that why not sell an insurance policy along with the loan? I am ideally giving you a loan amount, right? And ideally you are supposed to be making me installment payments. Why not you purchase an insurance policy as well? Like we know that how an insurance policy works, that as and when you die, you will be paid an amount of money. Why not you buy an insurance policy now, which basically says that insurance company will pay us money, pay the bankers the money instead of your family members as and when you die. And obviously, since the bank amount, the loan, outstanding loan is falling over the years, the sum assured or the death benefit for the policy will also fall over the years. The premium for a annually decreasing policy is much lower than the premium for a regular term assurance policy. Let us say if I were to buy a regular 2 crore policy, then the premium would be certainly very high. But if I were to purchase a policy or an annually decreasing policy, and that too from a bank, then the premium charge would be much lower on it, because the death benefit is gradually falling. Okay. So the loan amount would be falling over the years, and at the same time, the insurance amount will also be falling. Now, if I were to die here, then insurance company, instead of paying my family members, they will simply pay the bank, and the bank won't disturb my family. They can continue living in the same house which I have bought for them, right? So everyone is happy except me, who I am dead. Anyways, after this you have pure endowment policy. So what is a pure endowment policy? Pure endowment policy again is something which is sold to a life, that it is sold to me. Let us say that again, so far I have only discussed about as and when I die, but it is time that we discuss about what if I survive. So let's say I have purchased a policy for 40 years. Again, there is a period which is of 40 years. Now, instead of being pessimistic about my life, saying that if I die, you pay me money, I am saying to the insurance company that I will survive. I will survive for the 40 years. This is where I am dying. So I am saying to the insurance company, I will survive for the 40 years. This is what I believe. So insurance company is saying, nahi ho payega, you will die within 40 years. So we are saying, okay, then fine, let us make a bet. Now, instead of calling this as a bet, we call this as an insurance policy. We say that if obviously I'm paying the premium for it, that I will have to pay regular, maybe a one-time payment for it, or maybe an annual premium or monthly premium for it. But now the case is, now the agreement between me and insurance company is that, let us say that if I were to survive till 60, then the insurance company will pay me money. Instead of paying my dependents money, they will pay me money for surviving. So this is, instead of calling this as a death benefit, we call this as a survival benefit. So now I am optimistic about my life, and I am saying that I will survive beyond 40 years. I will die at 70. So pay me money when I, as and when I become 60 years, right? So this is what a pure endowment policy is used for. Real life application for this, many people will purchase a pure endowment policy because they know that at 60 they are going to retire and they will need a lump sum amount of money if they survive till that period, right? So they buy a pure endowment policy to make a pension fund plan for them. Pension basically to create a pension fund for themselves. And after this, you have an endowment assurance plan. Endowment assurance plan is a combination of both term life plan and a pure endowment. So it has both term assurance to it and pure endowment component to it. Under the term assurance plan, if I were to die within the 40 years, I was getting paid. And in the pure endowment plan, I was getting paid if I were to survive till 40 years, right? So now the case is that there are two scenarios. Either I will survive beyond 40 years or I will die within 40 years, right? There is no third scenario in it. So now what an endowment assurance plan will do is that they will combine the features of term assurance and pure endowment. Term assurance will pay me money if I die between 40 years. Pure endowment will pay me if I die beyond the 40 years, right? Now, what the term assurance will do is that they will check when I am dying. Irrespective of whenever I am dying, they will pay me money. But obviously the timing will change. Obviously that is the case, that if I were to die between this 20 and 60, as and when I die, they will pay my family members money. Or if I were to survive till 60, I will call them and say, fine, now give me money, now give me survival benefit because I have survived till 40 years. Okay, so this is what an endowment assurance plan means. Okay, and in the next class, we'll be discussing about the different annuity products and about the different use cases of the product as well. For now, this is it. We'll meet again. Thank you.